Urgent real-time Bitcoin forecast. This video is going to make you rich. You want a mega bull run and you want to make the most amount of money possible from this bull run using high leverage and make FU money levels of money and sell the exact top. This video is going to help you enable you to do that, make you do that. But not only that, it's also going to make you be able, without me, in the future, to make your own trades brilliantly. Buy bottoms and sell tops all day long, all year long, your entire lifetime until you die. Because I'm going to show you how the media works. I'm going to show you how the investment banking world works. I'm going to show you how the big money actually lies to you, tricks you, and confuses you, which is why most people, the average normal guy, the moment he buys something, it goes down. The moment he sells something, it goes up. I'm going to show you why and how they do that so that when you see it happening, you can go, oh shit, all my friends and all my relatives and all my coworkers are selling right now because of this, this, and that. I'm going to confidently, without being nervous or insecure, do the opposite. All in this video. Now, then before I go into why we're going to have a bull run and why you're going to be super rich from watching this video, some of you guys don't know me. Let me introduce myself. I am this guy. I'm the guy that told you right here to buy the exact bottom of Bitcoin and right here to sell the exact top. I don't know if you can see these actual lines here. I'm going to move this chart around so you might be able to see it through the pixels. Exact top. And I told you these were the exact bottoms and tops at the moment it happened. This is literally there's a feature in TradingView where you can take a tweet that happened at the exact time and paste it into the TradingView chart to show you when I actually said this is the bottom. I said it at the bottom. When I actually said this is the top, and one of our followers said, "Hey, is this the top? Should I short? Let's see if I can zoom into this big enough so that you can actually see that." Anyway, never mind. Just go to my Twitter and you'll find it on the feed. I cherry pick absolutely precisely the bottoms and tops of everything and thousands of bottoms and tops along the way so that you can buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell 24 hours a day, which is what I do for our clients. If you want to be a client and you want us to make money for you 24 hours a day, join us at bitcoin-funds-manager.com, bitcoinfundmanager.com with dashes. What else? Not only do I tell you tops and bottoms on Bitcoin, US dollar, the top prophesied to the penny, $1.14, 0.8 cents, $1.14, 0.8. Wait, that's just the chart with you pointing to the top saying, and you're just here saying that you called the top. I don't see a chart where you actually, before it hit $1.14, said that was going to be a top, and then said that it was going to go down. I don't see that chart anywhere. You're a liar. Okay. What's this? $1.10 is current price. You can see that, right? Let's zoom in. $1.14. I said $1.14 was going to be the top. You want to zoom in even further, closer? Let's zoom in even more. Yep, we were at $1.10. I said we're going to go up to $1.14 and then we're going to dump. That happened 3 days ago, and all of our clients were in 7x, 9x, 17x longs, and we made a shit ton of money by buying the exact bottom. But how did you know it was the bottom? How did you know when everyone's saying Lehman Credit Suisse is going to die, and then Deutsche Bank is going to die, and then Russia is going to nuke the Ukraine? And how did you know to buy the bottom? Why is that? Is that just just a bull trap? No, it's the beginning of a new bull market. I'm going to show you why. But if you do all this trading for your clients, shouldn't your clients be rich already? I don't believe you. Okay. Here, oh, here, bam, BFM clients win big. Here's just one of our accounts. I'm not going to spend much money showing you this. I had another version of this video where I had like 5 different accounts. I'm showing everybody that, hey, this account made 200%. This account made 70%. But I'm just going to show you this one. Here. Maybe you should let us make you richer. Bitcoin-fund-manager.com. This is a $153,000 account. That was 30 days. Oh, here. 30 days ago, my noggin was in the way. 30 days ago was only $50,000. Went from 50,000 to 150,000. Went from 50,000 to 150,000. That's a 218% profit. Bam! You want to see the chart? This is what the chart looks like. Now, what did I say here? This is a funny comment. Okay, so we literally doubled the money in a month. Started with $50,000 a month ago. I'm sure that they were nervous when the day after they started, they lost $20,000. What do you mean? Here, they started with $50,000, as you can see, and then we went down to like $20,000. So they lost almost $30,000 day one. Whoa! Why would you lose? Because what ended up happening was, if you're doing a 10x long, all you have to do is drop 3% and you lose 30% of your money. 10x times 3%, 30% of your money. So what we were doing was precisely fine-tuning the maximum amount of money we could put in this long over the next day or two until blast off without getting liquidated. And sure enough, blast off happened right here. Bam. And then we closed. We got caught in a little bit of an early long and lost some money, and then we gained it right back on the next trade. All in all, 1 month completed. Roller coaster ride, up 218%. Not bad. Okay, so now that you know we can tell you when the bottoms are, we know, you know that we can tell you where the tops are, and you know that we can take that data and turn it into cold hard cash, convert it into actual cash, monetize it into money for you. Prove to me that this really is bottom. And I'm checking the charts behind me just to make sure that there's no immediate trade or invalidations on the trade that I need to do for our clients. Because if there is, you're not going to see this video. And this video is never going to hit the light of day. We're going to cancel it and just do our trading for our clients. So that's what I'm staring at behind me. Now, convince me that this is going to keep going to make me money. And if I joined you as a client right now, you would continue even in the next month, in the next year, in the next decade making money. Let's do that right now. By looking at this chart, I'm going to convince you that this is the bottom and we're going to make a pump. What is this confusing chart? Just look at the pink, the orange stuff. Let's leave this out for now. Just look at the orange stuff. The blue stuff, what's Rust Bowl Pro, what's CredRec, what's Less Scraps, what's FinLeg Fight, CS Leh Chairman, Lehber, Liquidation, all the shorthand, I don't know. So let's just focus on the orange stuff. Before we do that, let's just clean it up and look at what happened to the money. Everybody lost all their money and everyone was freaking out because you were going to lose your houses and your 401ks. Now remember, when the stock market dies, it's not just people with stocks, the upper middle class or the wealthy, that end up getting poor. It's you, it's your mom and dad, it's your uncles. You thought if you lost your job, you can go back to your mom and dad's house and take back your old room. That old room is not going to exist if stocks go down, because your mom and dad's retirement money is in a 401k, and that 401k was right here 3 years ago, and was right here a year ago. If stocks die, the 401ks end up expiring worthless, and without 401k money, your mom and dad cannot retire. If they cannot retire, they have to sell the house, meaning you no longer have your childhood bed to go crash in when you lose your job. That's how important the stock market is. Okay. And there were two crashes, and we shorted both those crashes at the exact top and made tons of money for ourselves and our clients, because this is what's happening. And now you're going to know what's happening so that you can make the same decisions with or without me. You ready to get pissed off and see how the financial world really works? I keep telling everybody, you need to follow the money. And the media headlines are not the money. The media headlines are feints. You know how boxers feint and then they just cross, and then suddenly a foot comes up and they kick you? Same thing. It's a fake and then a totally different attack. And once you start seeing how these fakes work and what they look like and why, it really is going to piss you off, and it'll make you an adult. It'll make you make smart trading decisions for the rest of your life. You're no longer going to buy tops and sell bottoms. Okay, let's go into this. The first dip was caused by the WHO announcing the official name of the disease, COVID-19. And that's all it took to cause this dip. The second major dip was this announcement about the Ukraine and Russia being in a major war and fight. What were the dates on that? Beginning of 2020 and the beginning of 2022. Yeah, both Januaries. Imagine that. Start of the new fiscal year. Coincidence? Let me show you. February 11th, 2020. Here, February 11th, 2020. The World Health Organization announces the official name of the disease that is causing the 2019 novel coronavirus outbreak, COVID-19. The new name for this disease is an abbreviated version of coronavirus disease 2019. What's all this other stuff? So wait, there's a ton of this stuff that happened before this COVID-19 branding exercise, and it didn't crash the markets. So what was going on? What happened before, and why did this crash the market? COVID-19. Up until this moment, everyone called it the coronavirus. Everyone called it corona. It's like that my Sharona. It sounds festive. It sounds like, hey, you got corona? Yeah. Give me two. And you got any margaritas? It sounds like a Cabo San Lucas vacation. It sounds like winter break or a spring break vacation. It sounds so fun. It makes me want to go out and stimulate the economy even more. So Corona is just not going to cut it. Get Pamela from marketing in. So Pamela, with a badge, WHO marketing department, disease marketing specialist, comes up and she sits down and says, yes, sir. What can I do for you? And the chairman says, we've been pushing this coronavirus thing for the last year. And no one's staying at home. Nobody's wearing masks. Come up with something that sounds scary. Come up with something that'll make everyone not go to work, make everyone shut down their mom and pop shops, so that later on we can buy the properties at pennies on the dollar and then sell it to major conglomerates. Okay, will do, boss. What's that guy's name? The black guy. That's the CDC boss. Anyway, we'll do, black guy who's the CDC boss. She goes back and says, we did our Pew research and we found out that corona sounds too festive. We tell everyone this is the coronavirus, all of a sudden they're thinking, margarita! Let's name it something more clinical. The actual technical name is COVID. That's what some scientists call it. So let's just, COVID sounds strong. COVID. It sounds German. Doesn't it? It actually sounds like a cross between a cough and a sneeze. COVID. Right? I think this is going to stick. And the black guy's like, I like it. COVID. But it kind of still sounds like Cupid, doesn't it? It still sounds romantic and cute. COVID, Cupid. Makes me want to go out and find another 25-year-old to date. Can we make it sound more clinical sounding? I got it. I got it. Not only will this sound more critical, black guy, what's that guy's name? Let's call it COVID-19. Make everybody think that this is like some special 19th. It has 19 molecules and it has like 19 evil molecules and 19. That's like NC-17, except it's X-rated. It's the extra adult version. This is like, it's like if Pornhub was rated no 18-year-olds. This is 19. This is like smut porn level. It's like 19, COVID-19. We put a dash in there and all of a sudden sounds super professional. Bitcoin dash fund dash meta. Anyway, management.com, manager.com. Confusing my old websites that have a bunch of dashes in them. I like it. Let's run with it. So they ran with it. They called it COVID-19. All of a sudden, since it's the year 2019, everyone thinks, and it's January, holy shit, this disease is going to last a whole year. I'd better batten down the hatches and I'd better get ready and buy a whole bunch of masks, which is why there was a mask shortage. Remember there was an actual mask shortage? Stupidity, absolute stupidity. Wait, are you telling me that COVID-19 was named 19 not because it has like 19 disease man-eating molecular particles? Yeah, no. Look, this is straight off the CDC website. CDC.gov. The new name for this disease is an abbreviated version of the coronavirus 2019. How stupid are you to fall for this kind? Okay. That's why we had this major everybody's like, hey, I'm bankrupt, I'm jumping off bridges, I'm jumping in. A bunch of Koreans killed themselves, by the way. Koreans like doing that for some reason. Here. This is what happened here. And then let me ask you, what happened at the bottom here that made everything just super pump? Something happened at the bottom that made it super pump. After this, some other people got super rich while everybody else stayed super poor. What was that? And again, notice how this exact same length, notice how this exact same drop, this is about a 20% drop here. I think it was 22% or something from top to bottom. The exact same amount of drop. I'm using my fingers, and I know you can't see my fingers on the screen. So this entire thing, this exact same level of drop happened from here to here. Look at that. Literally, it's the same amount of droppage. It's the exact same amount of loss of money. It happened twice. And after the 22% drop the first time, stock markets went on a balls out gangbuster bull run, mega bull run, and left everybody behind after the first 22% drop. I think it's 20%. Let me just measure this because it's going to make me sound stupid if I'm wrong. Oh, that's 30-some percent, but that's the wrong way here. Here. Oh, this is the wrong way too. Anyway. I guess I could do this later. I'm just going to do this later. So, yeah, call me stupid. I don't exactly remember the top to bottom loss. But anyway, the same amount of loss happened twice, and after the same amount of loss happened the first time, a massive 2-year bull run happened, and I'm telling you again, another massive 2, 3, 4, 5-year bull run is going to happen now. I called it 5 days ago at the exact bottom, where it's labeled liquidation done. Okay, so now I'm going to explain to you why. I'm going to explain to you why this is the bottom. I've already explained to you why we dumped at the top using these orange tags. But what I didn't explain to you are the blue tags. The blue tags are not why we dumped. The blue tags are why we created the reasons that caused the dump. The blue tags are the actual real reason behind COVID. The blue tags are the actual real reason behind the Ukraine-Russia war. And knowing the blue tags, knowing what they are, is going to piss you off. It's going to open your eyes to the way the world really works. How the Rothschilds actually work. How the Gettys actually work. How the central bankers actually work. And you're not going to ever get tricked and fooled again. You're going to be enlightened. I guess. So let's get into the blue tags. But before I do, I cannot overemphasize the fact that after this kind of manipulation goes on, there's always a mega bull run. Because what's happening is everybody sold at the bottom. And so the people that bought the bottom are just going to pump the markets because now it's all theirs. It's literally all theirs. You don't own it anymore. I own it. So now I'm free to pump up the value and sell it back to you at 10 times more expensive than you sold it for. Is the game. So now that we've had a dump, we pumped. Now that we've had another dump, we're going to pump for years. Okay, so now let's go into the behind the scenes stuff. So what was her name? Sandra or Teresa, whoever it was from the WHO disease marketing department who came up with the name COVID-19. Excellent branding, by the way, Brenda. Something happened that triggered the need to destroy the stock markets. This is February 18th. These two blue things point to December 20th. That's literally 2 months earlier. Rust Bull Pro and Credrec. Let's see what they are. And they both coincided at the same time. Oh, before that, I guess I can just show you the orange ones. The orange ones. Here, Ukraine tension. Blinken says Russia could attack at short notice. And nuclear weapons and all this from BBC News and all over the other news was right here. This one. That was this. That was this. And then this was... Oh. Here. Oh, I already showed you this one. February 11th, 2020. So that was the placeholders for these two. Now let's see what these other things were behind the scenes that nobody really knew of. Rust Bull Pro, what is that? Forbes. For Wall Street, Russia has become bulletproof. Russia has become bulletproof. You know what happened? The biggest financial disaster of modern history was Lehman Brothers crashing. You know what Russia did? Russia pulled out of Lehman Brothers right when the big short guy, the Cassandra guy, he started noticing that banks were giving everybody bad money. Russia pulled out first, which is partially what pushed Lehman over the edge and made Lehman go bankrupt. But at the same time, you know what Russia did? Russia decided, hey, we're going to start selling securities. Invest in Russia because America's fucked. That's what Russia did. America didn't like it. Is that evil of Russia to sell something that was going to get destroyed and go bankrupt anyway? No, it's not evil so much as, I mean, if you know that a stock is going to crash, you know that Tesla's stock's going to crash, wouldn't you sell at the top too? Is that evil? No, that's just being smart. That's what Russia did. And so America got really mad and started this war with Russia. But now that everyone's giving Russia money for Putin's securities, guess what Russia does? Russia ends up buying back American, dirt cheap American stocks. Funny how that works, isn't it? Russia sold the top and they started buying the bottom. But America, we can't have that. We can't have Russia getting rich alone. If we're poor now, we want everybody to be poor. So they created COVID-19 with what's that guy's name? That's like the guy that keeps telling everyone to wear masks and get 15 booster shots. The white guy, the thin white guy, doctor something or another. Anyway, him and the black guy from WHO uh, were being paid off by America. And also at the same time, this happened. Credrec. What's Credrec? Bam. Creditor recovery in Lehman's bankruptcy. Proceedings started now. Let me read this to you. Expectation of creditor recovery were low when the Lehman Brothers bankruptcy process started. On the day the firm filed for bankruptcy in 28, the average price of Lehman senior bonds implied a recovery rate of 30%. So if you were one of the owners of Lehman Brothers, it looked like you were going to get about 30% of your money. Wait, I would lose 70% of my money? That's a huge loss, yes. But wait, there's more. A month later, the bond price was implying a recovery rate of 9%. Yes, you would lose 91% of your money if you were a Lehman Brothers investor. You'd be pissed off, wouldn't you? Consistent with results from Lehman's latest credit default swap auction, 2.5 years later, Lehman's estimated the recovery rate would be holding company creditors would be about 16%. So you notice how this recovery rate, how much money the people that actually owned Lehman, the Americans, were going to get back. It varies, fluctuates, going up and down and up and down. So the people who actually own what's left of Lehman Brothers, the Lehman Brothers scraps, they have to sell those scraps to somebody and give that money to the former owners. Lehman's dead, so they have to sell it. The people that are liquidating, the courts and the judges and the lawyers that are liquidating it, don't really care how much money they liquidate it for. But you know who does care? How expensive the valuation or how much what's left over the scraps of Lehman Brothers is worth. You know who does care? Are the people that are buying, are the people that are trying to buy the scraps. So Lehman Brothers was the biggest American banker fund. And since then, there was a new big, super huge boy on the block in America named BlackRock. Do you remember that name? And there's a couple other like Paragon or no, forget it. Just forgot the name. If they were going to buy the leftover assets of Lehman Brothers, wouldn't they want the price to be as low as possible? Literally, super, super cheap, so that they could buy it and give the people that used to own it the least amount of money. It's like you have a friend named Joe, and Joe decides to buy a Ferrari. And Joe says, "Hey, can I borrow $200,000 from you? I want to buy a $300,000 Ferrari." You're rich. So you're like, "Here's Joe. Here's 200 grand. Buy the Ferrari. When you sell the Ferrari, just give me my 200,000 back. Or if you sell it for more, obviously give me part of the profits." $300,000 Ferrari. I paid 200, so I own 2/3 of this Ferrari. So if the Ferrari sells for $600,000, I should get 400 back, even though I only let you borrow 2. Simple math, right? Chad, BlackRock Chad, comes up and says, "Damn, that's a mighty fine Ferrari. How much did you pay for it?" Joe's like, "I paid $300,000 for it." And the guy's like, "I'll pay you $2,000. And Joe's like, "What? I paid $300,000. I will pay you 2. But I paid $300,000 2." But BlackRock Chad is smart. You know what he does? He decides to lay to waste everything. He decides to bomb all the roads. He decides to close all the freeways. He decides to sneeze on all the freeways and make sure that all the freeways have to wear masks. He goes up and figures out where Joe lives and then decides to get everybody sick around where Joe lives. And then burn Joe's house down and then burn all of Joe's other cars. And then comes back to Joe and says, "Oh, by the way, that Ferrari, I still got that $2,000. So Joe sells the Ferrari for $2,000 and then gives you back your money, which is 2/3 of that. So that's what, $1,200 or so? Is that right? 2,000. Man, you know what sucks about not sleeping for 5 days in a row is that your mental math is 2/3 of $2,000 would be three divided. That's what I did wrong. 2,000 isn't easily divided into three, so let's say 3,000. The black dude, BlackRock dude, offered $3,000. So basically, you get 2/3 of that, so you get $2,000 back. You're not going to be happy with this. That's what this process is. That's what this process is. It's a going back and forth and fighting. So what ends up happening is they decide to call Brenda or Barbara or Sandra or whoever it was in from the WHO disease marketing department to kill the prices of everything. Right after these two things happen, it accomplishes two things. It makes sure that Russia doesn't get rich alone, and it accomplishes the fact that the people that actually do want to buy what's left over of Lehman can buy it at dirt cheap prices. In spite of the fact that it's killing the people that used to own Lehman, absolutely giving them. It turns out that after everything closed, they got a 94% loss, so they only got to collect 6% of what they invested in Lehman Brothers 14 years ago. 14 years ago, all because of these two things. They made this happen, which caused this to happen, and then suddenly, guess who ends up buying the bottom? You want me to show you who ends up buying the bottom? Um, e, I okay. I'm not going to show you who ends up buying the bottom because it'll give up it'll give away the next part of what caused the Ukraine, what was behind the Ukraine war. Just know it's the same people. That's the easiest way to explain this. The same people that benefit from the stock market dying again are the same people that bought this bottom. You ready for this? Lehman scraps. You want to see who was involved? Oh, by the way, the news, the most recent news right now. Good. We're on track. The dollar's dropping. Stocks are going up. We're up against the local and macro resistance, and we've got a bullish harmonic. We're gonna pump. Hang on, I'm gonna add to my lungs. I'm sorry for trading while I'm broadcasting, but got to be done. Money's got to be made. I'm helping you make money, so don't mind much if I end up wanting to make money for myself as well. Don't mind me. Okay. Whenever you see me say long or whatnot, always put orders 2%, 3%, and 5% lower. Always. And the same with shorts. 2%. Shorts are actually more. Shorts are a little tougher because there's a liquidation spike. Bull trap. So I would do 2, 3, 5, and 9% higher. Yeah. You mean you could go up 9% even after you say short? Yeah. We could still pump 9% more after I tell you to short. So, but you're going to get a lot more precise 0.5% margin of error, 1% margin of error signals if you join our Patreon, which is patreon.com/DeFi Fund Manager. Okay, almost done. Yeah. And that happens. That's always okay. Always don't just go all in the moment I say go all in because you're going to lose sleep if we go the opposite. And we generally do go the opposite direction, at least 0.5%. But by the time I tell you on Twitter or YouTube, there's a margin of error of like 9 whole percent. But in our Patreon, it's obviously since we do 24-hour updates, you're gonna get a tiny margin of error, 0.5%, 1% maybe. Okay. Who's going to benefit from a war in the Ukraine? Well, let's look at what Les scraps are, Fin Leg Fight, and CS Le. chairmen are. Ready? Oh, this is what I was going to say. So this whole last week, what was in the news this entire time was um, Credit Suisse and Deutsche Bank look like they're going to be insolvent. And all of a sudden, Europe is going to suffer the same consequences Americans living in their cars. And they did 15 years ago. You might not remember, but they did. Americans lived in their cars because of the Lehman Brothers collapse. Same thing's going to happen to Europe. Credit Suisse and Deutsche Bank are dead. Short everything was this entire narrative a week ago. Let's see what actually happened. Creditor recovery in Lehman's bankruptcy. Creditor recovery. Oh, this is 2019. Right when this happened. I didn't show you this page, but 2019, right there. Creditor recovery. So that, I guess I showed you that twice. This is the part that just kind of pisses me off. Starts to make my blood boil. Bloomberg. Lehman scraps in dispute as Deutsche Bank makes legal bid. There's BlackRock Chad coming up. BlackRock Chad comes up and says, hey, I want to buy your Ferrari for $3,000, even though you paid $300,000. That was right here. Right here. They want to start bidding for what's left over of Lehman Brothers. Now remember, they made a whole bunch of money by buying stocks at the bottom. And now what they want to do is buy what's left of Lehman Brothers. But since all the stocks went up, since everything, and Lehman Brothers was holding, it was holding stocks, it was holding bonds, it was holding properties. So since the market's doing so well, guess what? Even when guys like Deutsche Bank come in to want to buy this stuff, it's super, super inflated. So what do? You bomb the freeways and you go over to Joe's house and you get everybody sick and you burn all of Joe's cars. You make Joe bankrupt, and Joe has to sell you that Ferrari for $3,000 that he paid $300,000 for. Right here. By doing this, by creating the Ukraine catastrophe. Not convinced? What's fin leg fight? If you're not convinced yet. Oh. So while this happened, Credit Suisse goes up. Credit Suisse, by the way, is another one of these companies that was buying the Lehman Brothers scraps. So not just Deutsche Bank, but also Credit Suisse. Right at this time, Credit Suisse appoints a guy named Axel P. Lehman as the chairman of Credit Suisse? Wait, I'm confused. It was 15 years ago, so I'm foggy, right? The bank that destroyed everybody's lives was Lehman Brothers. Am I correct? Yes. Credit Suisse, who ends up buying Lehman Brothers' leftover scraps or bidding for them, ends up hiring a brand new, when was this? Ends up hiring a brand new chairman named Axel P. Lehman? When was this? This is January 17th. Oh, you can't see that. It's off the screen. So let me move that here. Oh. Can you see that now? Yeah, January 17th. Right? Here. Right here. Are you kidding me? Is that like, yep, I'm not kidding you. This is 2 days before the Ukraine catastrophe happened. 2 days before the Ukraine thing happened. Now, you want to know what the fin leg fight is? This thing is? All converging all at the same time, all at the same place. Right before they launched the Ukraine war. This is the icing. This is literally the icing. After 14 years, Lehman Brothers brokerage ends liquidation. Lehman Brothers brokerage ends liquidation. Liquidation of Lehman Brothers. Oh, here. Let me zoom in. Liquidation of Lehman Brothers brokerage unit has ended 14 years and 13 days after parent's bankruptcy helped trigger market free fall in global financial crisis. Judge Sally Chapman of Manhattan closed this, that, and the other. Happened September 28th. Right here. Right here. Lehman Brothers liquidation ended. What does that mean? That means, let me zoom into just this part. For those of you that are really sharp, you know what this means. Deutsche Bank, Credit Suisse, BlackRock, they're all trying to buy, just because of the court, how the court system works and the court timing works, they're all trying to buy the assets of failed Lehman Brothers because there's still trillions of dollars worth of assets, political clout, and power linked to those assets. They want to buy it. But since the market's been pumping for 2 years, because the same people, Credit Suisse, Deutsche Bank, and the BlackRock, bought the bottom and pumped it all for themselves after everybody got scared out because of this COVID thing, saying that everyone was going to die, half the population of Earth was going to die, and then suddenly you look around and you know of somebody who knows of somebody who works with somebody who has a kid that goes to school with a kid whose great uncle died of COVID. Here, I don't know of anybody, and I know a lot of people that died of COVID. So they bought this bottom, they pumped it up, but now there's something else they want. And now they're not going to buy at these pumped up $300,000 Ferrari prices. No way. They've got to start this war in the Ukraine. And they do start this war in the Ukraine, and all of a sudden nuclear bombs are at stake. And then America's giving billions of dollars to the Ukraine. All this is happening. And the people that actually own the shares, they're like, oh shit. I don't want to only take 20% or 15% on my dollar, on my investment of Lehman Brothers. The market's doing great. So aren't the assets in Lehman Brothers, the scraps of Lehman Brothers, worth more now? I want 50%. So what these guys do, they start the Ukraine war, and all of a sudden everything crashes again. Everything crashes again. Oh, sorry, not worth as much anymore. Not only that, but these guys that own Lehman, the previous guys that owned Lehman from 14 years ago, they're mega rich. Lehman isn't the only thing that they owned, right? They owned McDonald's. They owned Tesla didn't exist. They owned Microsoft stock, whatever. They owned all sorts of stuff, and it's all gone to shit. So now they go in front of the judge, and the guys that want to buy the Lehman scraps, Credit Suisse, Deutsche Bank, and BlackRock, like, yeah, I'm only going to offer you $6 for every $100 you spend. And the dudes that are actually owed the money, they're like, you know what, holy fuck, this has been 14 years of me fighting for this money, and I would have fought harder, even though it's been dragging on for 14 years, except for the fact that all of my other stocks are on fire too. My Microsoft shares are dead. My property isn't selling. My renters are squatting. My retail stores are getting pillaged, and what's the word when a bunch of people come in and break your storefront and steal all your stuff? Anyway, all that's happening. I can't deal with this headache right now. I can't go to court and fight for my so I'll just settle for 6%, and that's what they did. Right here. Lehman Brothers liquidation is done. Right there. Right here. After 14 years, Lehman Brothers brokerage liquidation ends, and guess who gets to own all the stuff and buy it off the old owners for super, super cheap? Deutsche Bank. BlackRock and Credit Suisse. Now that they own everything, uh, and the old owners are pissed off, how do you get, or they're trying to own everything, how do you get these people to stop pestering you and bothering you? Have you ever had that happen where you owe somebody money? If you owe somebody money and you're the only person that owes the money, they're hounding you to death. They're calling you at 6 a.m. in the morning, waking up at 3. They're following you to work. They're sending you text messages. They're leaving direct messages with your Facebook friends. They're sending direct messages, private messages to your Instagram friends. If you're the only person that owes some dude money and you're not paying him. So Lehman Brothers, the people that took over Lehman Brothers, kind of got tired of the Lehman Brothers shareholders bothering them and saying, "Give me more money, give me more money, give me more money." So they decided to just destroy everything. They decided to destroy everything, and they got their way. They got to own all of Lehman Brothers for 6%. And the last time they did that, shook out everybody else, made everybody else sell, was right here. And that produced this. The next time they got everyone else to sell was right here. It's, again, going to produce, oh, I already have an arrow there, this. Funny thing is, coincidentally, just yesterday, Elon Musk started talking about how, isn't that weird, Russia and Ukraine can achieve peace. All of a sudden, all these big figures are talking about how Russia and Ukraine can achieve peace. Now that Lehman Brothers brokerage, damn ads, ends liquidation. Pump it. Now there's only 3 owners of all the Lehman Brothers assets and all the political ties and all the political power those assets, those scraps from Lehman Brothers affords them. But some of you guys might be skeptical. You might say, yeah, that sounds like a fine and dandy conspiracy theory. But in order for these guys to have orchestrated everything from the Ukraine and Russia battling, and even the whole COVID crisis, I mean, you make it sound as if, I mean, they have to have so much control to be able to manufacture this entire COVID-19, not coronavirus. Get it straight, Brenda. These investment banks have to actually own these pharmaceutical companies to pull this global level disease scam off. Let's look at peace right about here and this. Top 10 owners of Pfizer. I had a mic. Oh, I do. Hold on. Oof, that was loud. If you have over 5 Bitcoin, you should get us to make you richer. We protect and grow your money 24 hours a day because we understand how these assholes work. They are literally willing to make your mom and dad, your grandma, grandpa starve to death so that they can just make a few more trillion than they have. It's just disgusting. So I work for you. If you have over 5 Bitcoin, it's bitcoin-funds-manager.com. If you have less than 5 Bitcoin, you can trade yourself with real-time instant signals, buy, sell, long, short signals. You don't have to use any leverage if you're not comfortable. But after a while, after making tons of successful, profitable trades, you're gonna look back and say, "I wish I had used leverage." over the last however long. And that's patreon.com/DeFi Fund Manager is where you go. Patreon.com/DeFi Fund Manager to trade for yourself. And everything still looks bullish. And if you want to confirm any of my charts and the fact that we told you to buy and sell at the top and how much money we've made, it's all publicly documented. I tell you when to long before price goes up, and actually publicly tweet it. So then why do we have to join your Patreon? Because Patreon, I'll give you all the signals, 5, 10, 20 signals a day. On Twitter, I only give you one major signal, and you literally get like 1 minute notice before poof, pump. I'll wait until the last minute. Not to be evil, but just to make sure that my public gets the safest, most confirmed signal. The longer you wait, the more confirmations you get.